So this film has already made about $1.6 billion. Dólares. That's a lot of money. And, you know, a lot of people are like, but there's a lot of superhero fatigue, this and that. Man, I think people would just go to the movies to watch a good movie. And that kind of spoils what I think about this film right away. It's a pretty good film. We've seen Tobey Maguire, we've seen Andrew Garfield. Now we're here with Tom Holland. We've experienced his trilogy, Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home, the standout being No Way Home. And now we're at the start of possibly his next trilogy. Here we are at brand new day with a brand new movie. Didn't know what to expect. I think either way, I was excited. Big Tom Holland fan. I think he's a great actor. I think he does his best when he's in the Spider-Man role. He can really pull in those heartstrings, but also he just gives off a very wholesome vibe and a wholesomeness that was missing a little bit in the other Spider-Man for me. Maybe it's because he is closer to my age than the other ones ever were when they started and when he started, right? Maybe I feel like I could connect to his a little bit more. But he does a great Spider-Man. Those thematic elements of self-sacrifice, the emotional moments, the caring moments and familial moments, the moments where he's enraged, where he's fighting inner conflict. Tom Holland's a great actor, and he just continues to show it in this film. In this film, we follow, if you haven't seen the other films, there's huge spoilers for the previous films, because this one definitely is a sequel to them, right? Like, it has a lot to do with what happened over there. So just spoiler alerts, I'm not going to spoil Brand New Day. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to speak about what's in the trailers, but not much more than that. I just want to more talk about how it felt to me. And yeah, like in this film, you really do see how he's living with the consequences of what happened in No Way Home. And, again, the decision, if you don't remember, was for everyone to forget who Peter Parker is. So they remember Spider-Man. They just don't remember Peter Parker. And I think the film starts off extremely strong with the line that he gives. He gives off a line, and this is like the first line that he gives, basically talking about, sometimes Spider-Man has to do the hard things, even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart. And that, when he said that, I was like, ooh, we're in for a good movie. Because I think they really understand then the aspects of what people really find enticing about Spider-Man. A lot of it is about sacrifice for other people that when they don't even know about it, right? And I think that's why it connects to everyday's lives. This guy's not someone who's super rich. He's not someone who drives Ferraris or Bugattis. He's not someone who can just, conjure up these things just out of money. In this film, you really see how, and as the trailer showed, he's very much battling a lot of inner conflict, right? Now he's starting to mutate. His powers are starting to mutate. And whether that's a good thing or bad, that's up to Peter to decide, right? Now he's starting to become something he's not. And in the meantime, in the background, that slowly grows is this threat that we don't really know what it is. But we know it has to do with some sort of mind control. We know it has to do with something like that. And the only one that can push it away is Peter, right? Is Spider-Man. And that has a lot to do with his abilities and his powers. So we don't really know the purpose of this villain. We don't know what they're after, right? And overall throughout the movie, yeah, we team up with Punisher, which was great. I loved seeing John Bernthal again as Punisher. And we teamed up with the Hulk. And that was just for a little bit. And I think team up is a very loose word. But through and through, the movie is about loneliness. I think that was pretty clear. It's very powerful, and it's dealt with really smartly here. It hits you, man. In my head, every single movie has some sort of soul, right? And the creators have a really clear vision, or should have a clear vision as to what they want to relate to the audience. The responsibility the director has is huge as well. I'm sure he's aware of it. and the message he decided to go with, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. The reason why this film is being compared so much to Spider-Man 2 is because a lot of what's happening to his powers is really much related to how, one, alone he feels, and how, two, how he's doing up here, right? And one of the reasons so many people loved Spider-Man 2 is because they could relate to it. You know, those small battles that you deal on your own, and just seeing like somebody overcome it just gives you a little bit of hope, right? And this film's exploration of that, I really enjoyed. I thought it was great. It even had some funny moments, man. Of course, between Punisher and Spider-Man. And his web swinging was amazing. And they focus a lot more on practical effects in this film. And the visual effects for the Hulk, though, were great. The camera work was so nice. There was some unique POV work done where the camera was right up here on his eye. But it helped to serve how, and just put us like right into perspective as to how Peter Parker's doing. The sound was great. The cinematography was great. I thought it was so unique too. Like, it really felt like colorful, right? I thought No Way Home was also colorful, but this one was very colorful, and it had some unique cinematography and some unique fight sequences from Spider-Man. I heard that they took a lot of inspiration from the video games. You can see it here. And even his web swinging and the camera work, it just felt very imaginative, you know, where someone thought like, okay, like what can I do with this character rather than what's already been done. You really see that they really put the thought into that as far as visually, right? And of course the action scenes are really well done. They're great. They had Jackie Chan's stunt team for a good portion of the film. And you do see that. And again, just going back to the story, you know, you really get this Spider-Man that's very much grounded, very much doing hero work at the street level. And I really appreciated the story. Definitely a huge standout in the MCU. Definitely a huge start to potentially a new trilogy. This is a great start. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if people call this their favorite Spider-Man movie. I can see why you would call this your favorite Spider-Man movie. And Sadie Sink did great. I'm not gonna give anything away about her. She did pretty good. This movie's making a lot of money. You could definitely see why. I really appreciated the Punisher. I think that he was a nice addition. I don't think he was needed in every single scene that he was in, but I still appreciated him and the little quick talks that I think people should note. Some of the things that he says to Spider-Man. It's very interesting. It has a lot to do with who the Punisher is and his character. The things that Hulk encounters and the way that we leave off with him. I think it does tie back to everything. I don't think it was like a random thing. It does tie back to the themes of the story and the conflict that Peter is going through. Yeah, this is one of Tom Holland's best acting performances, if not his best one. This year is starting to turn out to be a great year for film. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I think. Anyways, and TV. It's a great year for film and TV. Spider-Man Brand New Day for me is getting an A-. Now we are on to the parental advisory section. Spoilers are up ahead for a fact. So please step out if you are not interested. And if you are interested, here we go. So this movie is rated PG-13 in the United States of America. It's recommended for people 13 years old and up. Why is that, sir? It is because there is some violence, some punching, some fights, some stabbings, some shootings. And although it's not really gory, it is the most mature Spider-Man film that I think that we've seen from Tom Holland. I would say on par with No Way Home, probably. But this one feels a lot more adult, of course, because he's already past high school age. And some of the thematic elements, I think they will go over kids' heads, right? Just keep that in mind. There is no sex or nudity. There is one scene where Tom Holland is in his underwear after a mutation. It's very, very brief. There is very little elements to romance in this film. It is rated PG-13 for the violence and the language. it is a little bit foul every now and then, right? Let me know what you guys thought about Spider-Man Brand New Day. Let me know if it's like one of the best ones ever of Spider-Man. Let me know if he's your favorite Spider-Man. Is it him, Andrew Garfield, or Tobey Maguire? Catch you guys next time. God bless. Bye-bye.